we have officially left the boatyard and are back on the hook.
Back on the Great Loop. Back cruising again. Floating. Cruising.
But we thought we'd take a moment and update you on our cruising plans for the season ahead.
Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up, come my way, and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun. The stream.
Oh, it feels so good to be out of the boatyard. We had so much done.
6 weeks. We got back on our van.
In mid-March, and we left end of April. And that's after we left the boat at Atlantic Yacht Basin back in early November and left them with a project list, a very long one of probably our longest project lists we've ever tackled at a boatyard.
Yeah, and it was in some ways a bit of a mistake to leave so much of the list with the hope that it would be done while we're gone, because we've determined that projects go so much better when you're there on top of them, which the last 6 weeks have been super productive, and we're very happy with all the work we've been able to get done on Why Not.
No, it's not to say the work they did was great, but because we weren't there to interact with the work crews and say, oh no, that's not what we meant, some of the projects went a little off the rails. Okay, so a lot off the rails. So we were, more work was done than we were anticipating or even discussed with our project manager. And yeah, so we had a much heftier boat bill than we were anticipating because of that. But that is our choice, to leave them with a list to accomplish while we weren't there.
And then the advantages of once we were there and being able to be interactive, because they have such a great crew, such wonderfully skilled technicians, mechanics, and everything there, is you're able to dig into things and, well, fortunately or unfortunately, find things that you didn't even have on that initial list and tackle them. Because it's like boats, like the projects are like dominoes. It's like you open something up and you're like, you probably should, while we're there, or that looks like that might, that should be replaced in the next year or two. And while it's taken apart, maybe, all these things build onto each other. So we had a very productive time in the boatyard, both over the winter and then the 6 weeks we were back living in the boat while the projects continued.
Yeah. So just a quick recap of the projects. We installed brand new windshield wiper motors, which of course were not drop-in replacements. So it was basically like doing it from scratch. That was a major project. Mm-hmm. The engines got a lot of love. We were starting to have little issues like the temperatures being variable. That turned out just to be the thermostat. So all new thermostats fixed that problem.
Yeah, we had a coolant leak, which was some old hoses and stuff that that had to be redone, and that was an excuse to go and redo other things before they might fail as well. We had our heat exchangers rebuilt. Yeah.
We went ahead and replaced all the starter relays.
Yes. Yeah, we'd had a few misstart issues, and actually also the preheater relays. So those were actually had been disconnected in our boat before we even bought it. So we were fixing problems that went back since before we bought the boat, and got those addressed properly. In the process of doing all this engine work, we discovered some issues with the Walker Airceps, the closed crankcase ventilation system, and it turned out it was easier just to completely rip that out and replace it with a different kind of system. So we went with Seaboard Marine's EnviroVent design.
Right, because we had already done the Seaboard Marine's water pumps, which that's another major project that involves jacking up the engines to be able to replace, which will make impellers a lot easier to do. So lots of engine maintenance. Hopefully that will be all preventative and prevent issues down the line.
And it was kind of fun because like so many of those projects were things that we actually put on the list when we first bought the boat 8 years ago. The Seaboard Marine pumps have been on my list forever, and we finally now have the new water pumps. So lots of upgrades, a lot of engine upgrades we finally invested in this year.
Yep. The shafts got a complete reworking. We're just going to restuff the boxes, but there were bent bolts and all sorts of stuff. So both shafts got out.
They had rebuilt stuffing boxes, redid so much things.
We repitched the props because the ones that come with the Bayliner 4788 are kind of optimized for a non-loaded boat. A boat that's actually being cruised in and lived in is a lot heavier. And so a lot of Bayliner owners recommend repitching them.
So we got the props repitched, adjusted, because we do run our boat heavy. We actually had adjusted while we were doing this and doing our bottom painting. We raised up the boot stripe line and had that redone done, so our boat looks prettier. No longer will have a scummy line at the water line of paint.
So lots of projects.
That's only just scratching the surface. There's a whole bunch more.
Oh yeah, and new decals. So
yeah,
we had
made the boat prettier.
We had our logo, Why Not logo, created by our graphic designer when we first bought the boat 8 years ago, and those decals were reaching end of life, so we had those replaced for here and put some on the sideboards as well. So
yeah, that's the breakout another not 1,000.
Yeah, boats do not mean break out another 1,000. It's break out another 10,000. Easy.
Boat to
Yes.
Yes.
But we just look at it. We're investing in our nomadic
house.
lifestyle. It is not a lot of people a hole in which you throw money into. We look at it as it's throwing money into our lifestyle. I mean,
in our house.
in our house. I mean, houses take maintenance too.
And the thing with the boat too is like you, whether you use it or not, you still have to do so much of this work. So if so many people barely use boats and don't actually get out and live in them and cruise in them, but they still have to put all that money and investment into it. But when you're living a big chunk of the year in your boat, I feel like we're getting our mon's worth.
Oh yeah,
So,
I mean it's our chosen lifestyle.
It is.
And you always
It
have
is
to remind yourself it's a choice. Anyway, we are free of the Boatyard. We settled out the bill and began cruising northbound. Went back through the Great Bridge Lock. How does it feel to be back underway?
Feels pretty good. Boat's running great so far, and we're ahead of schedule, so we're killing time. We got an hour to kill before a bridge opens, so just a good chance to putter around.
And we spent several days just anchored in the Portsmouth anchorage.
Hospital Point. Yes.
Yep, at Hospital Point.
One of our favorite anchorages.
Just spent a few days there relaxing, and we now are we needed some decompression, so that was wonderful. We are now in new cruising territory to us. We have not yet officially entered what is considered the Chesapeake Bay. We're in Hampton right now.
As soon as we go out and around the bend, we will be in the Chesapeake Bay. And so that is kind of, I guess, the purpose of this video, or purpose of just bringing people up to speed, is that's our cruising plan. We're going to go out in the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah, people ask, well, what are you doing this one? We're heading north. That is about the level of planning that we do.
We were so busy with boat projects and researching boat projects and keeping on top of boat projects that I haven't put my brain very much into travel planning yet. I'm just in the last 24 hours starting to chart out routes and distances and cool stops and things like that. So we're just now starting to put our summer plans together, and we're open to suggestions and tips and favorites because apparently there's a lot of wonderful stuff to see all around the Chesapeake. And maybe we'll just stay in the Chesapeake this year. Maybe we'll cross up to Philadelphia. Maybe we'll swing around to New York. Maybe we'll make it all the way to Canada. We don't really know when we'll stop.
When it gets cold.
Well, okay. When it gets cold.
Much.
Okay,
I know much.
But yeah, we'll just be playing it by ear, going here, going there, finding cool places, getting longer term stays. So if you know places that have great monthly options or weekly options,
but are in cool places.
In cool places.
Yes, we'd like to be walking distance to the cool stuff, or biking trails and things like that. So we'll be looking for a couple of longer stays, weeks, maybe a month here and there. But yeah, the summer and fall ahead is it's all new cruising territory for us.
And all new. A lot of this is territory we haven't barely explored by land either. So it's a lot of new stuff for us.
Yep, we do know we are definitely going up the Potomac and going to go visit Alexandria,
Mount
Arlington,
Vernon,
Washington, D.C.
So that'll be actually one of the sooner stops because the Potomac empties down and out towards this side of the Chesapeake. Further up, Baltimore is another city that is supposed to be absolutely amazing, and Annapolis is
heard
up there as well.
Great things about the Solomons. So these are all things we intend to stop at. We do intend to cross the bay on good weather days, and
check the other side too.
So we'll be looking for good weather windows to cross at various points. So we may just be doing a zigzag back and forth across the bay.
We might do a loop and around. It's the bay is not all that big and around, but when you factor in all the inlets and areas to explore, the shoreline of the Chesapeake Bay, this blew my mind when I read it, is 11,000 miles of shoreline.
We haven't done that many
I know.
miles.
So that's why people say there's a lifetime of stuff to explore in the Chesapeake. So a lot of potential shoreline and places and cool towns and history and big cities and stuff to see.
Yep, and we're easily distractible. We know this about ourselves. So, the worst thing you can pack on a boat is a schedule. So, we don't pack one, and we don't really have a ultimate destination for storing this winter. We will figure out storage options once we get an idea of where we might end up.
Yeah.
That drove our insurance agent a little bit crazy, but they found the right policy for us for this
Yes.
cruising season.
Yep.
I am looking forward to new cruising territory, new adventures, meeting great people. If you are along the Chesapeake or will be traveling in the area and want to meet up, do reach out. Let us know. We love meeting you along the way.
And if you've got favorite places or must-see tips or things that like, yeah, that's not really worth it. The positive and negatives. Give us guidance, because I'm collecting it all into a file, and it is helping steer our route ahead. Because we love steering by serendipity, and we also love steering by recommendations of like, oh, this is amazing. You will love this. That's our favorite thing, because then that gives us kind of a sense of a shared experience with somebody of, hey, you shared this, and we get to experience it and tell you how much we liked it. So, it's...
Yeah. I mean, we read some of our favorite bloggers, and we get ideas from them, just as some of you get ideas from us. So it's a win-win situation and circle of recommendations and love. So.
Yes.
So I am looking forward to getting back into video travelogues and sharing some of the adventures with you. So you have control over the content you see by letting us know where you want us to go.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're
No,
going to put it straight to online votes, but I've seen that Black Mirror episode. That was a little scary. But we do love that sort of feedback. And again, let us know. Give the comments and the thumbs and the do the hickeys and stuff. And let us know what is interesting for you to see, and we may or may not film it, because we do this for fun,
Yep. Going to continue to be us sitting here. You're probably on this couch because it's about the only place we get decent lighting, especially this time of day, with B-roll. But we mostly, when we are traveling and exploring, we're focused on what we're doing, not trying to create a documentary.
But
that's not us.
No, but we do film a little bits here and there. We take some photos. We blog about it. We share almost very frequently on Facebook. So if you're not following the Technomadia Facebook feed, that gets the most frequent updates. And I guess we should try to post them to Blue Sky as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe,
I've been trying to do some of the Blue Sky posting there too.
And follow along. Easy to find Technomadia everywhere you go. So.
And then the blog and the videos get updated. Usually these videos, our travelogue videos, usually are falling 2 to 4 weeks behind.
So if you want to try to meet us in person, definitely pay attention to the Facebook real-time sync-up.
Usually the Facebook, I'm able to keep that within a few days of real time. We get, the timeline gets messed up because there's so much going on. And sometimes we have like lots of photos to share, and sometimes we have none because we get lazy. That's just who we are.
Yeah.
Almost 19, we're entering our 19th year of nomadic life.
Yes.
Chris just celebrated his 19th nomadiversary. He had a great blog post.
Go check it out.
On April 1st. So yeah, we have entered our 19th year. Super excited to hit number 20. That'll be a milestone. But yeah, we've learned our style. We've learned the way we like to travel, and we're always shaking it up and trying new things.
And we love how many people seem to identify with us and the way we share, and tell us that they really like this kind of content we put out. We don't have a huge audience, but we have a very long-standing one. Some people have been watching forever.
Yeah, and we love it. We love having you along for the journey. Thanks for hanging in there with us, coming along. It's great to have you virtually on board.
Because we wouldn't have enough life jackets if you all showed up at once in person.
Yes, but it would be nice to split the Boatyard bill up.
Volunteers?
Anyway, we will see you more. We've got some topical content that we might put out. We've got a whole bunch of ideas if we have time to film them. And we'll, of course, be doing the travelogue. So we look forward to ramping up the channel a bit this season and sharing more with you. So see you up the Chesapeake.
And
north.
then, yes.
North's that way, right?
And,
north. We're going that way.
And now we get to go ashore and explore our first new city of Hampton. So new territory for us. Exciting. Take care.
We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.